You're watching the Adventure Zone!
Moon Magic, exploring the lunar eclipse. Did you know? Sometimes when the moon moves behind the Earth, it can create a magical event called a lunar eclipse. Let's learn more about this fascinating phenomenon. During a lunar eclipse, the Earth moves between the Sun and the Moon, casting a shadow on the Moon's surface. This shadow makes the Moon appear darker and sometimes even changes its color to a reddish hue. This is why it's sometimes called a blood moon. Lunar eclipses are like special shows in the night sky. They don't happen every month, but when they do, they're worth staying up late to see. You can watch as the moon slowly disappears and then reappears, all while the Earth's shadow passes over it. Scientists study lunar eclipses to learn more about our solar system and how it works. They can also help us understand more about the moon itself and its relationship with the Earth and the Sun. So the next time you hear about a lunar eclipse happening, be sure to take a moment to look up at the sky and marvel at the wonder of this amazing celestial event. It's like magic happening right before your eyes.
You're watching the Adventure Zone!
Sink or float, fun with science. Did you ever wonder why some things sink in water and others float? It's all about science. Let's find out more about this fun experiment. When we put things in water, like toys or fruits, they can either sink down to the bottom or float on the surface. The reason behind this is something called density. Density is how much stuff is packed into an object. If something is heavy and has a lot of stuff packed into it, it will sink. But if something is light and has less stuff packed into it, it will float. For example, a rock is heavy and dense, so it sinks in water. But a plastic bottle is light and less dense, so it floats. Even big ships can float because they're designed to spread out their weight over a large area. You can try this experiment at home. Just gather different objects, like a coin, a piece of wood, and a rubber ball. Then, put them in a bowl of water and see which ones sink and which ones float. It's a fun way to learn about density and discover why things behave the way they do in water. So, the next time you're at the pool or by a lake, remember the science behind sink or float. It's all about density.
You're watching the Adventure Zone!
Shooting stars and cosmic visitors, exploring meteors and comets. Did you know there are cool things that zip through space? They're called meteors and comets. Let's check out these awesome objects that come from really far away. First, meteors are like shooting stars that zip across the night sky. They're small bits of rock and metal that burn up when they enter Earth's air. When you see a meteor, it's because it's getting hot and glowing as it flies through the sky. Sometimes meteors don't burn up completely, and they land on Earth. We call these ones meteorites. They can be tiny or huge, and they teach scientists a lot about space. Now, let's talk about comets. Comets are like icy snowballs from way out in our solar system. They have long tails made of dust and gas that light up when they come close to the sun. Comets go around the sun in long, oval paths, and can take many years to finish one trip. When a comet gets near the sun, the heat makes some of its icy stuff turn into gas, making a bright tail behind it. Comets are some of the most amazing things you can see in the night sky. Both meteors and comets remind us of how big and awesome our universe is. They fly through space, sometimes visiting us here on Earth, and make us feel amazed and curious. So, next time you look up at the stars, watch for shooting stars and shiny comets. You might get to see these space visitors.
You're watching the Adventure Zone.
Understanding floods. Keeping our environment safe. Did you know? Sometimes when it rains a lot, water can fill up the land and cause floods. Floods are when water spreads out and covers areas that are usually dry. Floods can happen near rivers, lakes, or even in cities where there's a lot of concrete and not enough places for the water to go. When floods occur, they can damage homes, roads, and even hurt people and animals. But guess what? We can help prevent floods by taking care of our environment. When we throw trash on the ground, like plastic bags and bottles, it can clog up drains and rivers. This makes it harder for water to flow away when it rains, and it can cause floods. So, what can we do to keep our environment safe and prevent floods? We can start by not littering and always putting our trash in the right place, like a trash can or recycling bin. We can also plant trees and create green spaces to help absorb rainwater and prevent flooding. By working together and taking care of our environment, we can help keep our communities safe from floods and create a cleaner, healthier planet for everyone to enjoy. Let's do our part to protect our environment and prevent floods.